Like in 6 a.m. in the morning, the police came in and knocked at the door. We are like searching millions of dollars in your room. I went to jail for 2 weeks and then I moved back home in house arrest. So
how was the 2 weeks for you?
the 2 weeks were really strange. I had a picture of my girlfriend on my bedroom and I was crying at night. And then I did this cut and went to Panama.
Nice, Nicky, to have you on the show. Maybe before I pass over to you, I can, in a nutshell, what I remember from your story or where you come from, put together because I like it. And so basically you built one of the biggest e-commerce platform in Italy. You're from Tyrol. And then for a strange reason, you went to Panama and you became a pirate on a pirate ship.
Yeah, when I was 14 years old and I needed some money for snowboarding, skiing in my regions. And then I sold these t-shirts with the logo of our crazy team, snowboard team, to get some money, to raise some money to buy my first snowboard. And that was like the beginning of seeing, okay, you can do everything out if you're willing to, you have an idea and you can reach everything. And then I started this e-commerce. It was 2004. It was almost the beginning of e-commerce, and Germany already was some years in advance, and Italy was behind. And I grew up in this northern part of Italy where you speak German, and I was really connected to Germany also, and I saw this opportunity. And I thought, why not starting this also in Italy? And then I built up this e-commerce. It was one of the really first online shops with OS Commerce platform. It was an open source product. It's really
hardware products, right? You sold on.
Sorry?
Hardware product.
Yes, I sold generally IT products. So it was like more, photo cameras. It started with photo cameras actually because I'm also, it's a hobby of mine. And I started buying photo cameras online. So I said, okay, let's do it the same in Italy. And then we started with these photo cameras, and it went really, really good because we started from actually completely from zero. And I was like having an order in the first month, one order every 2 weeks or something like that. And then it grew up until I was 27 years old. We had almost 20 million. And we're in the top 5 in Italy. And the business was running really well. So I had to learn a lot in this time because I was 20 when I started the company, and I didn't have this background from university or studying economics or something like that. And I had to learn everything from scratch, learning by doing. And and then it went really well until the point where I had this crash, and I don't know if we can tell also the story in between when I was 27, when I had my heart attached. So you can imagine 27-year-old guy, and I'm really sporty. I like sports and all. And I was kind of workaholic, so I was completely focused on the work. And I woke up one morning with my girlfriend next to me, and I said to her, okay, I need to go to the hospital. I feel something in my heart. And I went to hospital, and the doctor came by and put the defibrillator next to me. And it was like a scary moment for me. Like I was talking to him, do we need this? And he said, yes. And then I stayed for 1 week in this heart area of the hospital of Bolzano. And there's where my beard was, because I was always cutting my beard. Yeah. And after a week I came home and I saw myself in the mirror with the beard. I said, oh, it's not looking so bad. Maybe you can keep it. That reminds you to this situation. And then always when I'm looking through the mirror, I see myself, and this was the kind of sign of my body telling you, okay, you have to listen also on your body. You cannot go high speed every time. The part of the e-commerce ended quite quickly at the moment where I was, I felt into a legal process or a tax evasion procedure in Italy.
But you were innocent, or?
Yeah, I was innocent at the point, and I was like not conscious about what's happening around me. But it was really crazy. Like from one second to another, I went to jail in the morning. They picked me up like in 6 a.m. in the morning. The police came in and knocked at the door and said, "Hello, we are like searching millions of dollars in your room."
Yeah.
And I said,
how much it was? 60 million or what?
It was about 60 million tax evasion. No?
Just
then,
tax. Yeah.
Yeah, just tax. And then it was crazy because they knocked at the door and they said, "Okay, we will find the millions now." And I said, "Okay, if you find them, let me know where they are because I don't have them, not at all." So then it was crazy. I went to jail for 2 weeks, and then I moved back home in house arrest or kind of that.
How was the? Sorry to interrupt. How was the 2 weeks for you?
The 2 weeks were really, strange. But like the first days, I was lying on this bedroom with this random people around. Everyone had his own story. It was almost funny also sometimes because they had some story to tell. But then I saw, okay, what the fuck, where I am.
As an entrepreneur in a prison.
Yeah, what the fuck, where I am right now. No? So, and I was actually I had a picture of my girlfriend in my bedroom, and I was crying at night, looking at it. I was really emotional moment, and but hopefully it stopped after 2 weeks. I went to house arrest, and in this moment I started working also on blockchain and cryptos because a friend of mine brought like a book to me in this time to read, and then I started reading about blockchain and all this stuff and mining, and I started with mining also in between, and so after processing over years and years, and you can imagine like the first process, I won the process, then I had another one, like more than 7 years now of going on, and it was really hard for me. The energy, putting in. Yeah.
You spend $1 million on lawyers.
Of course. Yeah, the lawyer actually he bought maybe a house, or at least he bought 1 or 2 Teslas, and so at the end I arrived at the decision to quit because I was trying to go on with this business because I was completely focused. Okay, that's my baby, that's my first baby, that's my project, I want to go on. But then I had to realize, okay, you need to do a hard cut. Yeah. And then I did this cut and went to Panama. So I decided to close the company, everything. I paid off all my employees because I could always maybe do escape with the money or something like that, but I wanted to close it properly. And then I went to Panama because I'm a sailor too, and I knew that there is a captain from my region, South Tyrol.
You knew him before?
No, I didn't know him, but I knew the stories about him. All the sailors in our region were talking about him because they already went to his place to visit him. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's meet him up. And then I booked a tour with him, with his boat in Panama. And I arrived there, and I was on the boat, and the captain was not there. So what's happening? Okay, and there was another captain on the boat, and he said, okay, he has a new boat actually right now, and this is his old boat, and if you want, we can catch him up and meet him in San Blas. So I did, and I met him, and I brought like a vacuumized speck bacon from our region. It was a present for me, for him. And with this present, I already connected with him, and then we started speaking our mother language. And he said, okay, finish your tour with my other boat, go around Panama, and then come back to my boat. And so I did. I went to Panama for a couple of weeks, and then I came back to the new boat that he just bought. And
that was 2019, or?
Yeah, this was February 2019.
And then you started selling his tour because
Yes.
your passion is online marketing?
Yeah,
or-
because I saw, okay, what can I do, or what's my experience? I like to sell products, and I saw a new opportunity. Of course, like sailing, of course, is a hobby of myself, and I prefer to sell emotions than products, because always
Yeah.
like one thing that I always mention is like, when you sell products, you have to give warranty, and the people call you after 1 year. My photo camera is has a problem. I need warranty. And if I sell now emotions and nobody calls me after a year and say the emotion is left, or maybe I can start. Okay, you can do the tour another time if you want. And selling emotions, it's something different because you see the happiness that you give to someone. You see the people are happy after the tour, they are enjoying it, and it makes you happy as well.
Yeah, it's a great product. I mean, we are fully aligned. Whatever you do, you make clients into friends. And of course, if you sell experiences slash
Yes.
positive emotions, they're lasting. If you look back, the journey, was it kind of, does it make sense that you ended up in Panama, kind of in retrospect?
For sure. Like at the beginning, I thought, okay, I lost everything, because I worked for 15 years in this company. I started from zero. I went up, and I lost almost 1.5 to 2 million of year savings and my house and apartment and everything. But I ended up in this new story, because if this didn't happen, never ever I went maybe to Panama, I love to travel. And that was for me another experience I did, and I was happy that I did it, and I went there and I had a new opportunity, and I saw this new opportunity in Panama.
Maybe we have to mention for the audience, because San Blas is really a paradise. You can look it up.
Yeah.
I was there 2007, long before I guess it was more popular like today, or also before Wi-Fi or internet. And the natives, or I remember how simple the life is, and now I live in Thailand on an island, is very similar. And how I told you, in COVID you stayed with the captain on the boat, and also you had the funny story that you went and bought the whole he bought the whole alcohol in a Chinese shop, like a typical captain. The first.
He's a pirate. Like our boat is a pirate boat. This boat is. You can see it also on the movie Legends of the Fall, with Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. It's a real special boat built 1984 in New Zealand, and you can see it in this Hollywood movie. And it has a kind of story. If we are traveling around San Blas, and you see the other sailing boats and you see ours, everyone is going around our boat taking pictures. And my captain said once, if we take like $1 for every picture, we are fine, right? Now we don't have to work. So it has a special story. And
and also you converted an old fashion, let's say, business where it's still maybe under technologized, that you started to sell tours not only for the captain, also for, you mentioned 17 others boat. They started to ask how is your boat filled up, and for me this is like an inspiration also for others. You can be perfect in a niche, but also expand this niche. Like online marketing, you wouldn't think about in the first place to promote tours in Panama. But now you make good money with it. You found a new home also. How was it for you? Because I like to be alone, or to have me time, and there is a difference from alone and loneliness. You never had a problem because 6 months on a boat.
You mentioned the time of COVID, no?
Yeah.
And the story that you were telling, where the captain, he said, okay, we are autonomous. We have sun electricity. We have desalinator to make out the water of
food. You have.
We had to fish and everything. And the only thing he was missing was like, I need alcohol because I'm a pirate. I need an anchor beer every time I anchor on the island. And then the last day we were...
When the shops are open.
The shops are open. We went to this China store and we took like pallets of of beers and everything, and we bought everything that he had.
And you also said that you started to brew at one point.
Yeah. At one point we finished the beer, and the captain said, "Okay, I have a problem right now. We need to do something." And we started to brew. We built up our own brewing machine, and we collected mangoes and avocados and papayas everywhere in the jungle. And we grew up,
But those people, I mean, I remember when I was diving in Uttila, when I told him I advanced, and the captain was a proper alcoholic, but he did his job. It's not
it's not like you can imagine a guy that is crazy. You know, he needs like this. It's part of this pirate life. I met so many captains over there because the most people that live there, they are normally nomads or disconnected from the world. Because if you are living on a sea, you have to be a kind of person that is a little bit disconnecting from the world, and not searching someone his own island. And of course sometimes you're alone. I was there like 3-4 months in COVID, and at the beginning it was fine, because there were other sailors around. You were connecting. We did some stupid stuff together. But then after like 1 or 2 months, I was missing more social life. And then was the point. I remember one day I went to an island and there were monkeys there. And I had to speak with the monkeys because there was nobody else there. And I was talking to the monkeys, and they didn't reply. They was throwing like the coconuts to me, but nothing else. So I said, okay, it's time maybe to go back to the real world. And it was May. And it was also nice how I came back to Italy, because it was a kind of operation to fly back, because at the beginning there were all this organized flight from the German and from Italian, everything. And I had the opportunity to fly with my ex-girlfriend from Germany, and I called my parents in Italy, and they said, "No, just stay over there. We are locked down completely. Stay there." Better. So I decided to stay. And after 3-4 months, then I had this feeling to go. The Panama airport was still closed. One of the biggest hubs in Central America was still closed. And then my ex-girlfriend from Germany, with another group of people, they organized a Facebook group.
A charter.
They organized a private charter flight, like 300 people stuck in Panama. And they organized this charter flight with an agency that normally recovers people from the war zones. No? And they flew with a Boeing 747 from Valencia, empty, to Panama City. And they opened up the airport just for us. It was funny, like because we needed also these pass documents to pass to the street controls, and everybody connected this day on the airport. The police opened up the airport for us, and I was walking through this completely empty, huge airport of Panama City. I entered the airplane and flew to Frankfurt, and that was also a funny story. But at the end,
I was once in Zurich airport when it was the most severe lockdown. There were 100 passengers on that day, the whole airport. I think 8 flights, and most of them empty, and no shops, no nothing. You couldn't even buy water. And I flew a lot in COVID because it was for me really a blessing to go to the usually crowded. I mean, I had limited option, but I went to Dubrovnik. There was no people. Stockholm all the time because the life was normal. Maybe in retrospect, because I told you I like people who have these moments of transition. You mentioned depression. I have dealt with a lot of. I had one entrepreneur. He had 3 business, but he took antidepressant. He was like very low, but still kept his business and successful.
So until now, my story almost looks maybe happy or good. I came at a point that after COVID, because I was when you were home,
it started. Or?
Yeah, when I came back home, and because I was kind of escaping my problems. I was in Panama, and I escaped from this legal procedures in Italy because I just left one package by side, but I did not close it properly. So when I came back to Italy, I started working on it.
I came up again.
And of course, it came up. I still was heading the legal procedures and everything. But I had to decide for myself, you have to close this door. You cannot carry always this stuff with you.
And how long it took?
3-4 years.
Wow, yeah.
And the beginning was once you start working on it, you're just opening your heart to it again, and you start bleeding again, no? It's the tough time. And then I felt like into this kind of depression. It was first like mid-depression, then I went back, I was trying to be happy again, and then I felt like to a deeper depression. And I felt like into a point where I was like just at home and doing nothing. I just stand up from my bed to go to pee once a day and to have a meal. And I was like in this completely offline modus. In this situation, I learned that sometimes you need to ask for help to someone else, because I grew up like doing everything by myself. But in some situation, you need someone else that helps you. Like I was lucky to have a group of friends, amazing friends, family that supported me. And even in this moment when they took my house and everything, I said, my mother came to me and said, "Okay, at least you can always sleep in your childhood room. It's always safe. You're fine. You're not. You don't have to sleep on the street." So they give me like this security, you know. And during this time, I had a lot of support from friends and all. And you have in this time to accept that you need help, no, because you cannot handle everything by yourself sometimes. And that was for me hard in this moment, because I was normally like, okay, I can do everything by myself. And never. And
how important was nature? Because you love nature. Dolomites is amazing. Panama was a medicine.
Nature was really a medicine, because when I came back from Panama and I did not have my house anymore in Bolzano because I lost it, and I went to the mountains where my parents grew up, and I had a house there. Fortunately, I could live there, and this was a really good vitamin for myself. I was running every day in the mountains and connected with the nature, winter, summer. That gave a lot of energy to myself, and even music. I mentioned music, and of course sports. I'm sports addicted, and when I felt in this deep depression mode, even music or sports or even the nature could help me in this moment, because I didn't have energy to do nothing. Yeah. And I came at this point where I said, okay, you have to act. You cannot stay here without doing nothing. You need a target, because I always say if you don't have a target in your life, you're dead. And in this moment, I said, okay, let's do smaller steps. Let's see how can I
If you look back or in retrospect, would you say it was a good thing? Because your story reminds me really of my story, because one investor screwed up one of my company, and it was my baby, my everything, also 20 employees. I lost million or more than $1 million, and it took me 5 days. I was drinking, hanging out with friends, and then I realized, wow, it's actually a good thing, because otherwise I would never leave my company.
Exactly.
I would have been still in that business and not a free man. Yeah. How was it for you?
For me, it was quite the same, because I never ever would like think to leave close this company, because I got some offers to sell the company for 5-6 millions. At this moment, it should be the best thing to do: sell it and go on and do something else. But I didn't want, and I was stuck. I was stuck in this
also the
closed mind. No?
Almost the ego, because we spoke like, oh, it has much more value, instead of seeing that 5 million is already a lot, and you can do.
So stupid, thinking now like, you have to sell it at that point.
Yeah, and you would have put it in crypto.
Of course, yeah, of course. And no, it was at some point. Yeah, you need something that happens that kicks you out of this bubble where you're in, or maybe you're not thinking right, and in life some things happens in
And
between. It was the hard way to learn it, but at the end it was
I mean, all the stories I hear is always when you look back, it doesn't make really much sense. And I mean, what would you have made different? Maybe you sold it, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you would become an asshole of some. You never know what would be the consequence.
No, maybe that was also part of the evolution. So
yeah, exactly.
Learning to build up something and lose it again. Maybe it's this part of evolution that next time you're building up something, you will be more conscious about what you're doing, and you will think more and even what makes you happy at the end.
In retrospect of both of our story, could be maybe that you are more grateful for what you have accomplished and what you have. I'm impatient, and that goes along with also ambition. Ambitious. I wouldn't say I'm ambitious in a traditional way. I'm just impatient, and I see problems, and I want to fix them fast. But overall, I would say pause for a moment. That would be my advice. Pause for a moment and reflect what you have, and enjoy it a bit more than going after the next already.
That's what I'm trying to learn right now, to try to keep my emotions or energies under control in a good manner. It's good sometimes to kick out crazy and go strong, but then you have to pause, like you said, take your time and think about what you're doing, and then you go on. No?
Where will you be in 5 years? You have any plans or ideas?
I don't know, not yet. No, maybe to the moon. I don't know. Maybe with the.
Okay, that's nice. Anywhere.
Anywhere. No, I would love to stay on a sailing boat.
Oh yeah, if people want to do a tour, we can link your social media where they can find the website during the book.
The Pirates of San Blas.
I will definitely come, and you are invited to Pangan.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for inviting me.